LSN inbox. Tommy from Greenville, Tennessee is he wants to know what the cure is for the turnover bug. Is it more of a security thing or a scheme thing, or is it mental?
Well, I think there are a lot of things go into it. One, you got to secure the football, and we got to do a better job of securing it. The other one is you got to make better decisions. But you know, when you look at it, in the throwing part of it, you have to examine why the turnover rate is in the passing part of it. Yeah, West Georgia, we had a broken route. We threw it where on time and where the ball should be. We had he gets hit when the ball's fixing to be thrown. So that was two other picks there. One was right at the end of the quarter where you're in a half, you know, and it gets shorter. You're throwing it in a half, try to score, and then there's 5 of them back there. You're just hoping you get a tip like what happened in West Georgia. So you have to take those out, and then you have to look and say, all right, where were the bad decisions? Where's the throwaway? Where do you live for another day? Now the fumbles themselves, you got to do a better job of ISOing the ball and squeezing the football. And different teams take different approaches. I've been around it where you walk around forever with a football in the arm, and then I've been around it where you didn't mention it because you don't want to put it in their minds that that thing could hit the ground. But what you try to do is remind them every time they're running the football, squeeze the ball, just squeeze it. Instead of saying something negative, don't let it hit the ground, don't fumble. Just squeeze the ball, ISO, and put it away. We've worked extremely hard this week on securing the football, and then we got to be real smart in the decisions that we make, and then we've got to be precise on what we're running and make sure we're running the correct routes.
Susie from Burnsville is talking about social media. Everywhere you turn, you've got, well, I don't even know half the stuff, Twitter, Snapchat, all that stuff. Has that made being a coach easier where you can keep up with your guys, or has it put them more at risk?
Well, I think it's a lot harder now. I think social media has really puts the kids in a limelight. I don't know if you call it a limelight, but you
spotlight maybe.
Yeah, a spotlight they probably shouldn't be in. Right. And as a coach, it worries you. I mean, I worry about what is being tweeted, what's on Facebook, what's somebody taking a picture or filming. I mean, it's so hard to have a private life. And if a regular student tweets something or does something, it just doesn't hit the media. But if an athlete does it, it's going to get out there, and people are going to run with it, and you know, the media is going to make really a big deal out of it. When sometimes it's not a big deal, but it's one of the toughest things I think in coaching right now. I mean, nobody expected what happened to Winston to happen, and then for the media on the sidelines to run with him the whole game.
Right.
What was to me tough. It was more about him on the sideline than it was the guys playing.
That bugged me too, yeah.
And I think it makes it tough. And I think anytime you just put anything on your phone or somebody else does it, it's just gotten where it's almost out of hand. And we talk about social media with our players all the time, and just the answer, I think more than anything, is before I do anything, sleep on it for a night. Before I tweet, before I do anything, before I text, go sleep on it for a night, and don't react immediately and sleep on it. But also know that and you can get exposed for what, you know, you didn't think at one time you could get exposed for. So it's tough. It's tough on young people. It's tough on adults.
Right. Let's talk about the Southland Conference. Off to a good start. A lot of good teams there. Talk about a team maybe that has sort of surprised you so far.
Well, I really hadn't looked. I've been trying to take care of us, and it's so much about Mars Hill. I think everybody expected Carson Newman to be good this year, and I'm going to tell you, Newberry, they're like they always are. Last year they made the playoffs. They are extremely talented, and they lost to Charleston Southern, which is a division higher, and really played them and had the opportunity to win, and then lost in double overtime to Catawba, and I think Catawba's a much improved team, but I just think Newberry, talent-wise, is as good as they're better than anybody we've played so far.
LR hanging 70 last Saturday on Wingate, so
that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, anytime somebody puts 70 points on somebody, that's really scary.
Because they're more of a ball control type offense. They're hitting big plays.
Yeah, if they make you, and I hadn't seen them, and they're in the same offense. But if they make you play the run, and you stack the run, their home run balls are wide open, and I hadn't seen it, so I can tell you the only two teams I've seen in the conference is Catawba and Newberry.
Let's take one more break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Wolves of Newberry, who are coming to Mars Hill on Saturday. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff here in Mirror Stadium. Of course, 12 o'clock is in the huddle on this Coca-Cola football Saturday. When we come back, the Newberry Wolves will have the preview. Welcome back to Inside Line Football with head football coach Tim Clifton. Now, I'll correct myself. They didn't score 70 points, Coach. It was only 52.
Oh, well, 52. I like to score 52 a game. That Newberry did score 70 against Limestone.
Let's talk about those Wolves there. 1-2 coming in, coming off a loss last week, 2 overtimes to the Indians of Catawba. When you start with the Wolves offensively, you have to go right behind the center. W.T. Murden, one of the best in our conference.
Yeah, I didn't see how many years he's played there.
Probably about 9.
It seems like he's been there a long time, and but he can run that offense, and they put a lot of pressure on you. They got a lot of skilled guys, and he can run it, and so they're gonna spread the field, and they're gonna make you play the running back and play him, and then he can throw the ball extremely well. So they can just put so much pressure on you, on our defense, and we'll have to play extremely well.
And I haven't checked the stat sheet so far, but they always have some wide receiver about 6'8".
Yeah, and they got one playing with Green Bay that was about 6'8".
Yeah, he was bad.
But they always gonna have those tall guys. I mean, 6'3", 6'4". I don't know where they get them from, but they find those guys, and they're very talented. They put a lot of pressure on you, and they got Catawba 2 or 3 times on the deep ball and just laid it up and then out jumped them and then went in and scored. And they make it tough because they can throw it down the field.
Coach Todd Knight, he's got his offense at number 4 in our conference. Defensively, they're number 4 as well. So far, with what you've seen on film, how's the line offense expected to attack?
Well, we just got first of all, we got to hold on football, and we got to correct the mistakes throwing the football. And the thing we haven't done that we've always been really good at is we haven't had the guy rushing for 150 yards, and we've always been able to have that guy that can get anywhere from 120 to 200 yards every game.
Yeah.
And we've got to get back to that. It'd be interesting to see if if Harbison can help us get back there. And then Faluque's worked some at fullback. He's got phenomenal hands, and he's worked some at fullback. So I think we've helped ourselves depth-wise there, and maybe can stay a little fresher. And we just got to squeeze the ball, you know.
Let's go to our keys to game, sponsored by Mountain Credit Union. Of course, Mountain Credit Union, your community credit union. Coach, keys to a win here in Mirror Stadium Saturday against the Wolves of Newberry.
Protect the football. More than anything, just protect the football and not give up big plays. I think those are the two things. If you go back and if we just have 3 turnovers in each game, we've won 2 games.
Exactly.
And most people would say 3 would kill you, but 3 would have been phenomenal.
You've been jumping joy with it.
Yeah, I mean, so we can't turn it over, and then they're fast breaking. They live off scoring over the top, and we can't give up the bombs, and we gotta hold on to football.
Well, Coach, have a great game Saturday. We'll see you afterwards.
Thank you, Cam.
All right, 12 o'clock is our In the Huddle on this Coca-Cola football Saturday on www.marshilllions.com. We'll have live audio and video. Then, of course, 1 o'clock kickoff right here from Mirror Stadium. The Wolves of Newberry and your Mars Hill Lions. I want to thank the staff, head football coach Tim Clifton, of course, Nick Allison, the senior offensive lineman. I'm Cam Dowdle for Coach Tim Clifton. We'll see you Saturday in Mirror Stadium. If not, we'll see you right back here next week, 7:30 for Inside Line Football with head football coach Tim Clifton.